Navadurgas of Sales. So today we have with us Miss Leen Pinto. Leen Pinto is an entrepreneurial leader with over 10 years of international experience in sales, customer experience, innovation transformation, new proposition development. She is known for having a strategic mindset and the skills to get these things done. Welcome to Navadurgas of Sales. We are extremely honored to have you with us today. And yeah, so how are you feeling today?
Doing great. Thanks, Ria. Thank you so much for having me here today. An absolute pleasure.
Great. So, I am very curious and also I'm very excited too, because you have such a beautiful experience of 10 years, that too in international sales. So how was it? I want to know more about it.
Well, what I can say is that in these, 10 odd years of experience that I've had in the last over the decade, I think it's more been about gaining a multinational, multicultural experience, meeting a lot of people from different countries. And I think that has really helped me become the person I am today. It has really helped develop my mindset. And when it comes to sales, I think it just opens a whole lot of opportunities, your network and your skills also, because you learn so much from a whole lot of people. So that's how it's been, and it's been an absolutely wonderful experience for me.
Yeah, that's great. Then I want to know how you get into sales and why sales, please.
I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Since I was a kid, I have been involved in multiple family businesses. And when you are an entrepreneur, I think automatically kind of tend to become a salesperson. So although I, started my profession as a software engineer, I was worked at an IT company for about over 4 years, and then kind of moved more into working with the family businesses. You kind of tend to develop those skills to sell your products, the products that you're manufacturing, you're building, or whatever it is. So I think I naturally had those skills. It's not that I with intentionally moved into this role. So after that, I kind of started working a lot in marketing, and marketing eventually I think is a sort of a subset of sales also. So I can say that it wasn't intentional, but I just realized that I just probably have the right set of skills to be in sales, and that's how I kind of transitioned more into a very sales role.
Yeah, right. So according to you, what skills is it necessary to excel in sales?
I think most importantly, persistence. Because you will always hear a no. You will always hear multiple reasons from your customers as to why they think they are not a good fit or something. So if you're persistent enough to try to show or prove to the customer that there is a fitment, try to understand their problem, and see some sort of a fitment where you identify the products or the solutions that you're offering, will be able to solve the customer's problem. And I don't think that's a very easy skill to have, persistence, because you're going to face a lot of rejections. I primarily think persistence is a very important skill. Apart from persistence, I think you really need to have a very pleasant personality, because customers I think they really decide who they want to continue talking to, right? If they don't like your personality, I don't think they are going to really enjoy the entire process of doing that deal with you. Apart from that, I think couple of things are, you have to constantly keep learning, developing yourself, keep yourself motivated. I don't think motivation is something that you have to experience or go after once in a while. It's something you have to do every day, and keep progressing and updating yourself, because when you're talking to customers, dealing with them, they really appreciate people who understand or talk their language. They appreciate people who understand their problems and who are willing to solve them. So unless you continue learning and upgrading yourself, I don't think you'll really get to that point. So these are a couple of skills that I essentially believe are really required in sales.
Yeah, right. And also one of the most important skill is building relations with your
Of
customers.
course, networking. Yeah.
Networking is very important because when we go to exhibitions or webinars kind of things, so we meet new people there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we
Completely
build
agree.
good relations with them, and
Yes.
in long time relations, we can say. So yeah.
And yeah, I think to add to that, now that we have that added element of attending virtually. We
Right.
just had an event in London. I unfortunately couldn't attend, but I was doing the whole thing virtually, and it was people are willing to do that. People from the US couldn't attend as well, so I was connecting with people in the US sitting in India, and we were still able to build that rapport, understand each other, understand how probably my company can solve their problems, or how
Right.
Why they were reaching out to me, for example. So I think that after the pandemic, we've really gotten networking to another level where you're really doing that virtually as well.
Right.
So yeah.
So I just want to know. I don't know why. I'm very curious. But I just want to know about your experience of international. Like, and now, as you said that you visited London and US. So I want to know more about it. How was it?
Okay, I think my first international experience was, when I was a software engineer. It was on a very different line, probably not in sales, but I was working mostly with the European market. And then I worked in Dubai in sales for 3D printing. So I think that was a very disruptive technology, which even the Sheikh of Dubai was focusing on a lot. So there I really got that multinational experience, because in Dubai it is just literally each and every the population is so diverse, because you have people from all parts of the world living there. So that was, I think, really opened the doors for me when it came to networking and growing myself, learning from different cultures, gaining that those special skills, because the exposure was a lot. So that, and then now currently I'm managing sales for strategic accounts globally, and then I'm also managing Europe and North America for sales. So in that sense, I see that it's not necessarily those regional natives, that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with people from multiple nations in Europe. Let's say in Europe, I am working with maybe Europeans, with Indians, with probably Americans. So you can't really say we are limited to one particular region, because people have really spread out. So that's been a great experience for me working internationally.
That's great. That's great. Super. I want to know about your first sale.
Okay.
Because the first sale is always a memorable one. Because that time you think that I have achieved something. So how was yours?
To be honest, I probably will not remember, because this was probably something I'd done when I was very, very young. So unfortunately, I don't remember that, but I think I can tell you more about the most significant one, which really made me feel that really proud. Maybe this was a really big sale. I can't probably share all the details because of confidentiality, but the point was, this was really big in terms of revenue, and also in terms of the amount of effort that went into the entire sale. Because when it comes to sales, especially in a corporate world, it's not restricted to one person doing it. It's not just the salesperson doing the sale. You have an entire team who's working with you, so you're continuously coordinating with everyone, and then trying to show the customer that there is value, that if they sign the deal, we are going to deliver and bring them that value, to convince them all that effort that took was what really made it very fruitful. So I think that was the most significant sale that I had. Of course, Is drilling going on?
No, no problem.
Okay. So I think that was significant because it was a huge team that I was coordinating with. And then, in terms of revenue also, it was a big deal that we signed.
Oh, that's great. So, was it difficult for you to build your personal brand?
Um, should I wait? Can you hear the drilling?
No, that's fine. It's not.
Okay, cool. So personal brand, I don't think it was difficult at all. As I said, if you're continuously learning, if you're developing yourself, you're getting to a point where you're focusing on achieving continuously, your personal brand gets built automatically. You don't have to put a lot of intention and effort to building a personal brand. And that's what has been my experience.
Yeah, that's great. So, is it difficult, when a woman is in sales? So, is it difficult for a woman to, get promoted easily?
Well, there are multiple factors that you can consider here. For me, I personally felt that your relationship with the people you're working with is very important. And I don't think it's about being a woman or a man at all. I think it's about maintaining your relationships, be it your manager or your higher management, your colleagues who are your team members. So once you have that rapport with everyone, you are in good terms with the people around you. That is primarily very important if you're looking to get promoted. You can't keep stepping on people's foot and trying to grow yourself. I don't think that will take you very far. So first is building relationships.
Right.
Secondly, as long as you're performing and achieving your KPIs, or if your KPI is getting that revenue, you're doing that, who is going to stop you, right? So these are two primary things. If your relationships are not good in the company, then that's a problem that can restrict you from getting yourself promoted. Secondly, if you're not achieving your goals that have been set, after you've discussed with your company, what are my goals? What do you expect of me, in this position?
Right.
You're not achieving that, then that's a secondary factor that you can consider as a roadblock to getting a promotion. If these two things are fine and you're still not getting promoted, then maybe there is a problem. And if you're a woman and all the men around you are getting promoted, then there's a problem, maybe. So I would just say, if that's the case, you just have to move, to a place where the mindset is better. But luckily for me, I've not really faced a problem as a woman in any of my companies that I've worked with.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, there is a lot of things to learn from you, and I'm very excited, and I'm getting inspired by you, by your thoughts and by your lovely words, and also your experience too. So, what motivates you to do your best?
Here I would like to quote Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says, he defines happiness as progress. Progress equal to happiness. And I stand by it. I'm sure there are people who find happiness is just being calm and peaceful. But for me, I relate so much to Tony Robbins' talks, and especially this quote where he says progress equal to happiness. And I think continuously progressing, doing better, achieving better is what makes me happy. And ideally, I think that is what totally motivates me. I'm a complete believer that you have to continuously keep developing yourself, be a better person than you were yesterday. You should never at any point feel that you're stagnant. You can always, and I always continue keeping role models who are really way above me. So I know that I have such a long way to go, and there's no complacency for me at all. So I think setting really high goals for yourself, looking at role models, someone like Tony Robbins, I mean, come on, look at his energy, and thinking that I want to be at some point like Tony Robbins or have that energy that he has is what keeps me going and motivated, because I know no matter what I do is not enough, and I have to just keep pushing myself to do better. And I think that's how I kind of keep myself motivated.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, how is lean outside organization? Is it the same or she's different when she when she goes out of the organization?
Well, I think at work, I am professional, or I think
Yeah.
that's a better answer for my
Obviously.
colleagues to give. I'm very studious and disciplined at work, no doubt about it. And I think I have similar characteristics outside work, but I can be pretty silly and fun at times. I absolutely love adventure. I kind of I do have a lot of hobbies which are completely disconnected from work. But at the end of the day, I think your personal character is what translates at work or your personal life. So character building is, as a character, I think I'm pretty same personally or professionally. But if you look at me at work, I think I also try to bring a fun element in everything I do, but I'm also very strict and studious at work. So I'm defining myself like that, but I don't know what my colleagues would say.
No, I'm sure you would be like that. So, what is your most significant professional achievement?
I'm sorry, can you please come again? This drilling is really bothering me.
Oh, okay. So what is your most significant professional achievement? Apart from like your first sale, as you told, but apart from that.
Okay. Significant professional achievement. Now, as a salesperson, you would expect me to say something in lines of numbers, right? This is the target I achieved or something, but I don't find that as my personal, most significant professional achievement. I think for me, what really ticked me was that I growth in an organization because you intentionally wish well for the organization and you put yourself out there to help the organization grow. So I'm not just looking at doing my sales numbers, but I'm also looking at how will the company benefit from the sale. I'm just not closing a sale deal because for the heck of achieving the numbers. I'm closing a sale deal to ensure that the customer is happy, to ensure that the company also benefits in the long run. So having that mindset, I think, has really helped me grow in the organization, because the organization really appreciates people who think well and wish well for the organization as a whole and not just look at the numbers. And I think as an achievement, I would say having seen that growth, developing myself very quickly has perhaps been more of an achievement than just achieving numbers.
Great. So, what success means to you?
I think it's very close to what I earlier said about happiness and progress. I think success means progressing every single day. Success again is doing the very mundane tasks every single day, because that's, I think, the most hard thing, being consistent. Consistency is extremely hard. So, success, like closing a deal for a salesperson, can be a one-time success. But are you doing that continuously on a consistent basis? And that is very important. And if I am able to achieve that consistently, I would consider myself successful. Even in terms of, everyday tasks that you have to do in the organization, you do it consistently. That I define success as consistency.
Right. When a woman, in any other profession, when she gets married, her life changes. Right. So she starts giving up on her career, maybe because she have to pay attention to her family more. Her responsibility increases towards her family, towards her husband, or maybe children. So what advice or how will you encourage them to not give up?
Sure. I think the easiest way you can do this is by setting a role model. Again, if you set someone who's in those shoes, right? Someone who's married, who's looking after family, who has a successful career, look at them. How are they balancing their work and professional, personal life? So learn from them. Keep yourself motivated by looking at such women, because there are so many women out there, who have more than 2 children, who have to take care of their house, they have to work, and they're also at top positions in various companies. So
Right.
what are they doing? Look at them, learn from them, and set yourself that goal and standard that you want to do this. I think the minute that you decide you want to achieve something, there's no stopping you. You will find a way to do it. And I am a firm believer in that. So I feel that it is going to be hard, definitely, no doubt about it. You will, your kids are going to want your attention, your husband's going to want your
Yes.
attention, your family, and there's so many problems at home. Maybe the fridge broke down, everything needs your attention.
Right.
But if you have the will to do it, you will find a way. It's not going to be easy. There are going to be days where it's going to be extremely hard. You will not be able to focus on your professional life. It's okay. Excuse yourself for those days. Everyone goes through it. So it's fine. But then pick yourself up and, start over again. Or, keep at it. Continuously keep at it. As I said, it's all about consistency. It's not that one time you achieve something and it's done, right? Every single day is a new day. Every day is like new challenges. Every day, something else comes up, be it at work, be it at personal life. Just keep going at it. You set goals, so that, set 20 goals. Even if you can't achieve those 20 goals, you'll have achieved maybe 5 or even 1 goal. And I think that's a big deal. So that's what I would advise is set role models, set goals for yourself, and know that it's okay sometimes if you're not able to do it all.
Right.
You are human, and it's not possible probably, but keep at it and don't give up. So
Yes.
yeah, that's my
Yes.
advice.
Lovely, lovely. So, do you think that there have been very few women in top in sales, and why is it so?
To be honest, I've not really noticed this, because I've just been focused on being a salesperson. As I said, once you set role models, you don't really look at these things as, I don't consider myself as a saleswoman. I just see myself as a salesperson, and I don't go to count how many saleswomen are there, because I don't think in that direction at all. I just, so now if there are fewer sales women, I'm not exactly sure why that might be the case. Well, sales is a high pressure role, of course, and maybe because, women find it very hard to balance between work and personal life, but I don't think it's impossible. So if there has been such a trend, I would really love to see it change.
Right. Keeping in mind the social and cultural bondages, it generally trim down the confidence or boldness of a woman.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
what steps you would want a woman to take?
Yeah. All right. I think that's a very, very good question. And I absolutely love the question. Because I think at the end of the day, it's all about confidence. And how do you build confidence is by building your self-esteem. And how do you build self-esteem is by doing the things, by, coming back to consistency. If you're consistently putting in the effort, you're building yourself day to day, and that builds your self-esteem. And that in turn builds your confidence. And the prime belief is that you have to believe in yourself. Unless you don't believe in yourself, you cannot build your self-esteem also. So just, you have to believe that your opinions matter. I think especially we live in a country where, women have for many years have been taught to not have an opinion. And I've seen that a lot. Please excuse me if I'm offending anyone, but the point is, there is a lot of trend where women are not allowed to have an opinion of their own. So I think women have to firmly believe that their opinion counts. They have to believe in themselves, first of all, and build that confidence. And as I said, there's so many ways you can build your confidence by building your self-esteem. That is, take action every single day. Try to achieve something. When you get that sense of achievement on a daily basis, it just kind of builds your self-esteem. And primarily, what is so important here is working out and keeping yourself fit. I think many people lack that point. I think as salespeople, you will notice most salespeople will keep themselves really physically fit. And, keeping yourself fit also builds that confidence on another level. You just see people, who are really healthy, working out every day. Their confidence level is on some other level. And I think I would definitely say, try to keep fit by eating healthy, by working out on a very regular basis,
Right.
and building your self-esteem. There are many ways you can build it. Just people can Google and find out what are the different ways to do it,
Right.
and build your confidence. So definitely loved the question, and I think it's so primarily important, not just for salespeople,
Yeah.
for each and every human being to get to that level of confidence.
Yeah, right. So, just random question, okay, what you do when you have a bad day? Because generally, when, even I am in sales. So I have a bad day because someone says to me something very bad, or maybe I didn't like it. So whenever I have a bad day, I go shopping, because that's the remedy for that. That's the remedy for that. Can I go shopping? Then so what you do?
What has really worked for me when I have a bad day is working out. I think I just go for a walk in nature or wherever possible, and I just switch off my mind by listening to music or listening
Right.
to an audiobook or something like that. The key for me is to just switch off from whatever happened, because the more you think about it, you're overthinking, you're just gonna be in that mind frame. So the best way for me has been working out, or call a friend, talk about something else, entirely something else, go watch a funny movie, start watching comedy shows. The key is switching off from whatever happened. And of course, in sales, as you said, it happens pretty often.
Yeah,
You face
exactly.
rejections, or you get an escalation from a customer, and
Right.
that's obviously not a happy thing or pleasant thing at all. I think once you get into a mindset where you compartmentalize everything, you compartmentalize work from how you're personally feeling, that is also the second step you can take. One is immediately learn to switch off by focusing on something else, move your attention to something entirely different. And secondly, learn to compartmentalize in such a way that you're not emotionally getting so involved in what you're doing that it affects you personally. So those are the two things I would definitely say have been working for me.
Yeah, lovely. So, do you have any experience, when resistance when you leading men?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's something that happens because you're a woman. Because for me personally, I've noticed that when I have men managing me or women managing me, what has really ticked for me is that I respect them because of the work they do, because of what I'm learning from them.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if I am in a position where I'm able to help and grow people that I'm working with, I think being trying to be that role model for them is essential. But if otherwise they are being disrespectful for whatever reason, I really don't know if it's because I'm a woman or not. So I'm not really going to go in that direction to say that, hey, I'm a woman and that's why this person is disrespecting me.
Right.
When I sense something like that, I try to look at what work I'm doing. Am I adding value to that person's you know am I helping that person grow professionally? If I'm not, I try to take steps to do it. I try to talk to them and try to engage a little more. And if it still doesn't work, then I just focus on my work, because I don't try to go, as I said, I don't want to ever think in the direction that, hey, I'm a woman and that's why this guy is not respecting me. I just try to focus on how I can fix it. If he or she are, he is not respecting me, and if all else fails, I just focus on what I can do and work with, and I just let karma take its course. So
True. That's true. Agree.
that's the approach I take.
Yes, I know. So, it is generally believed that Indian women give more emphasis to their motherly role, rather than venturing a capital. So, if they want to plan or they want to settle down,
Mhm.
so they would rather prefer a safe rich job, right?
Mhm,
Rather than coming into this domain or maybe any other domain.
mhm.
So, can you please shed some light on this?
Well, it depends, to each his own, right? I'm a very ambitious person. So for me, there's no two thoughts about what I'm going to do next in terms of my career. And there are women who choose to spend time with family, and they choose a much safer role, as you just said. So I think it's entirely dependent on the person. There are people who just believe that family is everything. I just want to focus on family. I'm not so interested in career. But for me, I'm personally very ambitious, career oriented. So I think it's entirely depends on the personality. But having said that, if the person is career oriented and is sacrificing, then they have to think twice, because I think you can do it all. You can definitely,
Right.
it's not going to be easy, it's going to be hard, as we spoke about this earlier too.
Right.
But don't sacrifice it, do it if it's a choice. And that's all I have to say, because it all boils down to how you're going to face such situations. Is it too much of a pressure that you're going against, and that's why you're taking a safer choice? It just boils down to all of it, is what I think.
Right. Lovely. You have such a beautiful experience and you have seen the things happening in front of you. So, what is that one tip you would want to give to the newcomers who want to come in sales or maybe in marketing? So,
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, that's a very good question again, because I think my personality was probably not the same when I started off. And the one thing, if I look back and see, I would really tell myself, first of all myself, and then that would be the advice to other people.
right.
Build that confidence, be mentally strong, really build that resilience, no matter how, because it's not going to be easy. It's a corporate world. I'm never going to bring up the topic that because you're a woman or a man, it's going to be different. It is going to be difficult irrespective, right? You're going to see office politics. You're going to see a lot of challenges. You're, as a salesperson or a marketing person, convincing a customer is going to be hard. If you're emotionally weak, it's just not going to work out for you. First of all, no matter how young you are, start building your resilience to anything that bad happens, right? We just spoke about how do you work on days where you had a very bad experience. It's going to happen very often. So if you're not strong enough to face such scenarios, how are you going to survive? So
Yeah.
start building your strength emotionally and learn to be confident and believe in your opinions. If you're always scared to speak up, you cannot grow. You cannot, if you think your opinions don't matter, it means you don't matter. And if you think you
Right.
don't matter, how are people going to respect you? So unless you respect people, people are not going to respect you. So learn to respect yourself, build yourself, strengthen yourself in a lot of ways. Keep yourself fit. Again, as I said, working out, exercise is really, really puts you to
Important.
another level. And the other thing I would say is that, apart from building confidence, I think there was a point. I'm sorry, just give me a moment. I did think of
Yeah,
a
sure.
very interesting point, and I just slipped my mind. Something on my learnings itself. I'm not remembering it. Just slipped my mind. So yeah, I think it's very interesting that people learn from us, right?
Yeah.
What was the other important thing that I really wanted to bring up? Okay, I'm just not remembering. Sorry.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, I guess we can continue. If I remember, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, because wow, that was very, very good.
Really?
I am very inspired by you. It was very insightful. I
Oh,
know,
I'm
thank
glad you
you.
think that, because I wasn't thinking it was going pretty that well. To
Mm,
be honest, I was a little disorganized. I think my dog has some problem with his ears, and I was like trying to apply medication and all of that. It's one of those tough days, right? I'm really not remembering what was that really very important point I wanted to bring up. Damn it.
But you are too
Okay,
good.
I remembered.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so So the other point I want to bring up is learn to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Always learn to stand up for yourself, because if
Right.
you don't stand up for yourself, no one else is going to do that for you. You don't do what you need to achieve, no one else is going to do that for you, right? So it's all on you. Learn to take the heat from whoever you're facing it, criticism, learn to take it, but then you have to know when to take it and when not to take it also. You just can't keep taking criticism and just keep quiet. Of course, you have to improve yourself, take that criticism, learn and improve.
Right.
But if you think there's needless criticism, there's needless politics that you're getting involved, you really need to put your foot down. And
Right.
that is so important, especially culturally in India. I don't think women do that at all. Again, sorry to offend anyone, here, but the point is, learn to stand up for yourself. That is primarily important, especially when you're
Right.
starting off a career, especially if you're being in a corporate. Learn to stand up for yourself, but it's very important that before you stand up for yourself, you're also doing your job, right? You
Right.
have to be doing
Right.
your job well. And then if you're facing the heat and criticism, you should learn to give back. So that's the second very important point I've learned throughout my career.
Also, to believe in yourself. That is the most
Yes.
important thing.
Exactly. When you believe in yourself, you believe in your
Exactly.
opinions, you will learn to stand up for yourself. Yes, very true. Everything is so interconnected.
Yes. So thank you so much for coming in here and sharing your beautiful journey with us. Thank you for being a part of Navadurgas and making it a huge success for us. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me, and all the best to, for this session of Navadurgas. Really excited to look forward to all the other interviews as well.
Yes, sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ria.